Drinking my coffee black. And if I drink any whiskey, although I could put it in my coffee, I would be drinking some Canadian whiskey. Because I love our Canadian neighbors. And I don't know any other products that are definitely made by them. I looked for Moosehead beer. We don't have any Moosehead. And I think Molson is swallowed up by some larger corporation that contributed to Project 2025. Anyway, welcome to the god-awful news. During this 4 years of this horrible Nazi administration, the news is going to be bad today. Tomorrow it's going to be worse. I know. And yesterday it was terrible. And today it's even worse. I know it's impossible to imagine, but it gets worse every day. And I expect it will continue to do so for 4 years, each and every day. Aloha. And yeah, that sucks, but we can have a little fun with it, I guess. We'll do our best. That's all we got. And we can do our best to, resist. And that's what this is. This is a form of resistance, as all these people in the media, anyone reporting, making fun of, or telling the truth about these Republican traitors, 4,400 of them. Trump at the top, Musk at his side, but let's not let any of the other ones off the hook. This is all the blame is on Republicans, because Trump's going to die soon, and with him can't go all the blame for all the hell he causes. So I have some fresh, terrible news. I thought I'd maybe go through, I don't know, the last week's news. It's, why? Anyway, all right, so let's get down to it. My God. Oh, it's terrible. Well, I have it up right now. Oh, I got to do something here. You're going to like this. So I have the stock market's active right now, and I have Tesla stock up on my big screen here. And I just got to move one little thing. I just got to move Elon's Nazi mustache. Oh, this is so great. Okay. All right. Well, let's look at some Tesla stock, because it's down. It's going down. Down, down, down. Oh, and look. Oh. Okay, so let's see. That's what's going on with Tesla stock today. It's down $12, 5% today, another 5%. Giving up the gains it got on Friday. And look at Elon. Look at him. He is freaking so cool. If you're a Nazi, he is your hero. Oh my goodness. Or a Republican. Right? Oh, this is who the Republican Party is. And that is sad. Oh, look here. I'm on the side now. I'm on the side. Okay, so, yeah. I'm over here in the left side of your screen. Okay, so, oh my God, where do I even start? But if you haven't heard, Trump evoked a law from 1798 saying that we are at war with Venezuela, because they have invaded our country. And he just up and sent 250 detained undocumented immigrants, not back to Venezuela, but to El Salvador, a whole different country that have these just horrible gulags, just these horrible prisons that are gnarly, very inhumane. And a judge blocked Trump from doing that, and then they just defied the judge's orders. They were told to turn the plane around, and they didn't. And so this is the Constitution on fire. It's done with, as you'll hear reported by everybody. The Constitution is gone. It means nothing. And that's where Trump's been heading this whole time, and that's just the beginning, including the gentleman from Columbia University who was taken 2,000 miles away. He's been detained for a week already. He's did nothing but protest, which is not illegal. It is just a complete weaponization of all of our enforcement agencies against honest, hard-working people in our country, for the most part. And if these guys were definitely, you know, I'm sure there's some guys that were once in a gang and now just want to work their ass off and have families and shit. But so because they're just showing tattoos, saying, "Oh, look, this proves everything. They got tattoos," but it doesn't necessarily. And we could have given them due process, and we could have detained them in a more humane way, and presumed innocence before guilt, and at least been humane. And at the very least, if you're going to send them back somewhere, send them back to, I assume Venezuela is their country of origin, and not as criminals, but as just people you're deporting. I mean, if they hadn't done any crimes. Anyway, that's just very disturbing. And what we were all, you know, it's all the worst stuff you can imagine. It's coming. There's going to be martial law and military parades and these doofuses, but they're becoming so unpopular, and that's the monkey wrench, you know, when Trump can't do a rally because people won't go and cheer for him, and is that what's happening? Will that happen? I mean, I don't know, man. And it's funny, the stock market. So the whole stock market was trading at 22 times earnings. Now it's at 20 times earnings. People say it was just due for a correction. And aloha. And and they're trying to encourage you to have confidence in the stock market and want to keep putting money into it. And I just don't think. Look, stock markets are just like plants and people. They thrive in predictable, stable environments, and there's nothing predictable and stable about the next 4 years. We're only in 2 months, and the stock market is down 10%. So I don't think it's just some sort of ordinary correction. I think there's going to be more instability. I think the whole global economy is going to contract as people live with more anxiety and fear, and I think there'll be, and this is something really interesting, and what hasn't happened yet is all the numbers from everything that's happening right now, right? Pretty soon we're going to get numbers from the behavior of everyone who's changing their behavior to suit their beliefs in fighting the Nazi Manifesto Project 2025 that's being implemented so quickly, just like Hitler, It is, and just like 1984, where everything's the opposite, right? War is peace, and yeah, the truth are lies, and I mean, it's just, yeah, it's 1984, and the Constitution. We are in a constitutional crisis, as they say. It doesn't sound bad enough though. Constitutional crisis. I think it's like the Constitution. I don't know. Oh, anyway, it's weird. How could any Republican have any self-respect, knowing that they're party to all this? Not to mention, you know, the woman hating and the hating everybody that's not white. Oh my God, who's the black guy that just got fired? Oh, so there's this band, this fucking glorious Marine marching band or whatever kind of band, you know, horns and everything. And they always play all these special events, and they had these young people who competed to win a spot to be like potential apprentices or whatever, or future members of it. And because some of them were black, they canceled the whole ceremony to celebrate them and like fired him or what? I mean, oh my God, I just hope that the black guys that made the mistake of voting for these racist bastards, these bigots, don't do it next time if there is. That's the other thing. Will there be elections in the future? Oh, here's some future news. Trump's going to find a way to start dismantling state elections, right? Because states are in control of the elections, right? Of course, he'll do everything. He'll be very successful easily. It'll be voter bullshit in all the red states, but how will he do it in the blue states? And that's going to be definitely one of the things they work on soon, is destroying elections, because ain't no one going to vote for him, hopefully, anymore. So much pain. Anyway, I think it's more than just a correction. I think we need to wait and see. I think there's going to be a new. What we're looking for is a trading range, the bottom of the trading range when it gets there. You know, like right now, what's the trading range between 40,000 and 42,000? You know, maybe, but yeah. So. But will it test that low soon? Yeah, I think it will. I think when all these, and then, you know, so a big part of the stock market, it's also 1984. I know, creepy as hell, I know. Yeah, remember, war is peace. That's going to be the mantra soon as this bastard takes us to war. He just bombed the shit out of the people in Yemen, killing almost 100 civilians, women and children. Anyway, he just loves to kill people. That's just kind of gross. He's so evil. Like how he cleared out all the death row people he could last time. He killed as many as he could under his watch. What a thing to be. Like, well, if he ain't the devil, the description of the devil. I think he fits every description of the devil. He even got an orange face, orange hair. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone that's working with him is going to end up like in line for like 1,000 years, getting into hell. And then when they get there, it's going to be, you know, like Rudy Giuliani checking him in, and Trump's going to be standing there going, they'll be, wait a second, I went to church. Yeah, and then they'll say, I hated everyone you wanted me to hate. You know, I hated everybody. I hated these people and those people and those people. I hated everyone they taught me to hate in church as a good Republican. And then he's going to look at you like, oh yeah, and you're wondering why you're in hell now. It's like the brand of hate. And boy, has religion taken it on the chin, because I just can't see people thinking there's anything related to God with people like this. I mean, it's crazy. And of course, everything's the opposite. Like, pro-life is actually pro-death. Like 26,000 women died in 1970 from black market abortions. We want to bring those back? Yeah, bring back black market abortions. That's what we need in our country. Holy shit. I mean, and that's 25 states right now. 25 states. I would be terrified to be a woman in a red state that just got pregnant. Terrified. All right, so Tesla's down. Let's take a look at the Dow. The Dow is up a little today. So there's all these companies though that are on people's lists: Amazon, Walmart, Target, McDonald's. This whole list. This Project 2025. The companies that donated to Project 2025 from Tell the People with Sunny and W1. By the way, this is my championship fantasy football ring. Yeah, this list right here, right? So that's a big part of the Dow, of the stock market. So what we're going to see is the overall stock market's going to come down, because these specific companies are targeted by people like me for the rest of our lives. There is no coming back from being the donor to the Nazi manifesto that destroys countless lives, murders people, starving children, veterans' lives, freaking immigrants' lives. I mean, God, it's so offensive on so many levels. To anyone with any decency, with a heart or a soul. Oh, I drink my coffee black, like a Republican's soul. As black as a Republican soul, my coffee. That's why you can't see through it. It's dark. It's so dark. Just like Republicans' souls. Oh, and if I am going to drink whiskey today, it's going to be from Canada. God bless you, Canadians. We love you. Sorry about this embarrassing piece of shit that's going to destroy half of all life on Earth, maybe. He is, or more. What is that guy? Thanos? Thanos Trump? Jesus, scary. At least we got a sense of humor. Okay, so what's up with this 47%? And it's low, right? Versus people. 47% of the people in our country approve of President Trump's. How's that possible? I do not understand. How you like this on the left side, on the side of the screen? Is this better? No, but seriously, who, what? And then even though they say that's a really low number, the only one with any lower number was him in the past when it was at 40 in his first term. But still, 40. Who? What? We got the guy in the White House doing Sieg Heil Nazi salutes, and the 47%, and he's stealing. And he's not doing it. Federal government isn't doing anything. Trump loves this idea, like with abortion. We'll just leave it to the states. Hey, we'll just let them do everything. We'll let them educate their kids. They don't need federal help to educate. They don't need federal help for disasters. They don't need federal help for anything. We'll just have the federal government just pay for a huge military and then give all kind of discounts to the rich and not charge them any taxes. And oh my God. Anyway, it's and the business is it has been just infected like herpes with Republican garbage, selfish country club Republicans who only vote for their selfish interests in not having to pay taxes, which is just the people you see interviewed on CNBC every day. And it's fun. Joe Kernan is just uncomfortable because he's such a shill for Trump and such a cult member, and he just can't deal with the reality, and he tries to approach everything from some sort of bright side. Like they're all saying, oh, third, fourth quarter, things are really going to start coming back once these things start evening out. Oh, look at this graph. Look at how we're actually, the victim here, and everyone, all Republicans, these snowflakes, always got to play the victim. And oh God, anyway, so yeah, when all these companies numbers shrink, like we don't know, we haven't seen Target's numbers shrink, like because there's quarterly numbers, right, that are going to come out quarterly, and those are going to be significant. And when they do, it's going to be one level down after another. And many of these companies, the Dow is 20 of the top biggest companies in the world, and many of those companies that people are boycotting are the top 20 companies in the world. So but the ones that aren't in the crosshairs, are just going to continue to thrive, like Costco, that publicly kept their DEI. So whether it's a company that donated to Project 2025 or a company that just said, oh, sweet, we're going to just cancel all DEI and just did it voluntarily to capitulate with the Nazi traitor leader, they're being punished. And people are taking it seriously, I think. And Tesla's at the top of that list. But Tesla is just like, oh, now that everyone's like in on that with Tesla, they're like, and let's pick off Amazon and Walmart and Target while we're at it. So I think that's a reason why, amongst many other, right, that the stock market's going to drop, to new lows that they can't even imagine right now in the business news world, 36,000, 32,000, 28,000 maybe. I mean, just think about it. Doesn't mean there won't be companies thriving, but if you're one of these companies that is the target of all of our anger at what has happened to our country, I I just wouldn't want to be you, and that's going to have but there's other, the contractions from the tariffs, supply chain disruptions, factories having to move around, companies not making capital investments because they don't know what's going to happen, people spending less, traveling less because the goddamn planes are falling out of the sky. It looks scary as shit. There's been freaking 10 deadly, crazy accidents in the last 2 months since dipshit in the White House freaking fired the guy in charge of the FAA and offered air traffic controllers to quit if they want. They're just another federal worker that was offered to quit. If they just want to quit, everyone should just quit because they don't want a federal government. They don't want to pay. They just want to steal all the tax money. It's crazy. I mean, you're not hearing it yet. And Steve Leisman is like, this is crazy. This is stupid. I could lose my job for this, which makes no sense, right? Someone actually doing honest reporting. He's been with CNBC for a long time. That's Steve Leisman. Like a good 30 years I've been watching that guy. So, yeah, and we're just going to hear more and more. We're going to hear more and more negative sentiment, negative consumer sentiment, consumer everything. There's all these different graphs, charts, polls they follow. Consumer confidence, consumer sentiment, all these stupid polls. What pisses me off is this, I'm dissatisfied with the Democratic Party. Like 29% approve of the Democratic. You can't disapprove or approve. They can't do nothing because they are dipshits voted them out of power. And they still complain about the Democrats not doing enough for them while Republicans are screwing them. Republicans not only don't want to help people, but they would actively want to screw them over. Democrats want to do everything they can to help them, and people can't see it. And then they complain that not enough's being done for them. Yeah, what are you going to do for me, Democrats? What are you going to do for me? And they try to do everything they can. None of it's going to ever be enough. And then over here, there's these people who lie to you and are definitely going to screw you, and somehow people gravitate towards that. It's amazing. And that's the bad news. Okay, so yeah, the Constitution's gone. The news got worse. So on a funny note, the memes, I guess, I don't even know what a meme is, but I guess it's a doctored photo, perhaps with a phrase that goes with it, or maybe not a phrase that goes with it, I don't know. But in this case, it's a phrase and a picture, and the pictures are doctored pictures of JDVance. They're turned into memes in all sorts of ways. That is the cover photo of this. I just took a picture of somebody. There's so many of them, all the different messed up faces and weirdo faces that people made, AI faces. Oh, it's great. Some real digital skills being applied here. And he deserves every bit of it. I love hearing people talk about it. It's amazing. Every time anyone brings up JDVance, the next couple of words are, something effective. He's just an awful person, or he's vile, or whatever. Just every horrible adjective someone can use. He's really alienated a lot of people with his speaking to the Nazis in Germany and telling women, the childless cat ladies, whatever. Aloha, Frankie. Yeah, nobody likes JDVance right now at all. And then when he said, "Why don't you say thank you?" Boy, is that I just saw this funny video they made in Denmark. Guy's hurt, gets hit by a car. He's on his bicycle. It's on the ground. Ambulance drivers come up, pick him up, put him on the thing, and one of the guys says, "Hey, wait a second, I don't think he said thank you yet." Like they can't save him until he says thank you. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yep, no, I don't think you said thank you." He said, "No, I said thank you before." He said, "No, I don't remember you saying thank you." Oh God, that is a great skit. Ah, man, I want to make videos like that. funny videos where you just make a tiny little scene of some shit like that, making, but anyway, yeah. That was the sad day, and now Republicans, they couldn't admit that Donald Trump lost the election, right? That Joe Biden won. They still can't, which is just cowardice and weird. And now they can't admit that Russia invaded Ukraine because they're so shitty. They're so twisted in their brains. Everyone's watching this going, who are you people? What the fuck's wrong with you? And they're like, no, it's 1984. Yeah, war is peace, black is white, hot is cold. Don't believe anything you've ever heard before because none of it's true. And they're hijacking critical thinking. That's how they're trying. They're destroying the educational system so that they can hijack and continue to diminish, which they've been doing since the 1950s, our education system. So they can destroy critical thinking. Because anyone with the ability to think critically would look at everything a Republican says and does and go, God damn, you stupid. You're obviously lying. That's not true. Why would you say that? You know what I mean? Like everything, that would be the only rational. That's why I think there is no need for the Republican Party. We should just eliminate the Republican Party, create a new party that fights for women, the environment, children, the elderly, and people who work, right? The W-2 people in the United States of America, right? And then make that party the party that's anti-war. And then we'll just leave the Democrats alone. They're pretty good. And they're the pro-war party. We could have one pro-war and one anti-war party. And then that could be the balance that everyone thinks we need between two different parties. Aloha, brother. Well, I'm just getting going here. 27 minutes in. All right. Cheers to you. Got some black coffee, like a Republican soul. And my ex-wife. So they're losing lawsuits, but it looks like now they're just going to stop adhering to the law, even when judges drop it down. I mean, this shit sending people from Venezuela into those prison camps of El Salvador is just savage and inhumane. Even if these were gang members, my God. And if you're in a gang in the United States of any kind, you should see this as a warning. Time to de-gangify, because the goon squads are coming, and God knows, now that we have this 1798 war enacted that's been shot down by a judge, but they ain't listening to it. I mean, God knows what other rights they're going to violate, and don't think they're not going to start coming after me. They're coming after green card people. They're going to be at my door pretty soon, because I'm just speaking out, because I'm using my constitutional right. They're destroying the Constitution while they destroy the Constitution. And they're going after, afraid, because they're such snowflake cowards, they're afraid of criticism. So they're going after the press. And it's gross. Going after lawyers, and knowing that they have just meek weaklings that will threaten people on their behalf. That's why I want to get into politics. I want those threats. I would love to get into politics. I'm writing a letter to the chairman of the DNC, who's a pretty he's not a real he doesn't look like much of a tough guy. He's pretty demure as a man goes, but a sweet man nonetheless, and in charge. His name's Ken Martin, and I'm writing him a letter saying, hey man, because what he just told Brian Tyler Cohen was, we need more Democrats with a spine. So I'm like, Leroy Democrat with a spine? I'm your guy. Anyway, if I get a little bit of help, I think I can move into 3 different places where Republicans are representing us, either in the Senate or the House, where I could take a Republican seat. 3 places. Here they are. If I got into politics and wanted to move out of Hawaii to do it, to take a red seat, there's the red district where Nevada City is at the heart. And my family founded Nevada City. The first city map was drawn by my great-great-grandfather. My great-great-grandmother ran for office, was elected in 1881, almost 40 years before women could vote. So I could come in there, even though I'd be moving there as a pretty hardcore local with a better family history than anybody else in town. So, you know, I think I could get through to the Republicans in that red district and work with that. So that's one of them. And then I assume Chattanooga, Tennessee is got a Republican. Maybe it's a Democrat place. But if you don't know this, Chattanooga, Tennessee is 2 counties, and it's on the license plates. It's Hamilton County and Bradley County. And with the name Craig Hamilton Bradley, I just think I could actually use that to my advantage. It would look good on a billboard in a town where every license plate says Hamilton or Bradley on it. Anyway, so that's another area I think, assuming it's red, I might be able to do that. And then Juneau, Alaska, right across from Juneau is a mountain named after my great-grandpa. So if I went to Juneau and ran for office in the shadow of a mountain named after my great-grandpa, I think I could work with that to try to defeat a Republican. Because he was a well-liked guy. He was friends with presidents. It wasn't named by a president like Denali, and which is now McKinley again because of the racist president. And although I'm sure people will just keep calling it Denali. But the people of Douglas Island and the area, they liked him so much because he was really a philanthropist in so many ways. Although he was a mining operator, owner of several mines all over the country. He did a lot. He invested in the communities. So he'd build YMCA, indoor swimming pool, indoor bowling alleys, community centers, sponsor baseball leagues, sponsor marching bands, libraries, churches. So that would really help, because these guys were working 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, I think. But they had families. So their families were able to enjoy all these benefits, and the men enjoyed working hard. They thought that, so anyway, there was never any unions. My family was once pretty anti-union, right? But we supposedly believed in taking good care of our employees, and so they never wanted to become part of a union because they were like, we got it just as good or better than we would have had it otherwise. So that's the family history of the Bradley Family Mining Company. Nobody knows, even though it was something special back in the day. But there was nobody in my family that was super successful that wanted to draw attention to themselves. Like, that mountain was named after my great-grandpa because of the people of the community. You know, not because he wanted to put his name on it or a building or something like that. So, but I have a book that says we couldn't have won World War II without him, because of the tungsten and antimony and mercury, all the raw materials that we needed to, build the ships and tanks came from Bradley mining operations in northern Idaho and California and other places. So that is a bunch of stuff. Jeffrey Epstein. So it's funny because the crazy Republicans, they really believe that there's all this stuff in the Epstein files to prove that there's ignorant theories that it's all the Democrats. How's that? It's all these, Trump's best friend was Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein procured his underage abductees at Mar-a-Lago. That's where they were told to go and become massage therapists and get turned into someone that Jeffrey Epstein pimped out at his islands. What I wonder is how many girls they just disappeared. There's a few around to testify, but I bet there would have been a lot more had they not disappeared a bunch of girls, like out in New Mexico. I wonder if there's just bodies buried out there or what, If I was president, I would want to go investigate that. And they filled in the tunnels and stuff. There was all this, I think, very incriminating stuff at the Epstein residence, and they filled stuff in with concrete, right? Just like these places where if they were doing some super sadistic shit, it'd be very hard to find evidence because it's now just full of concrete. But yeah, turns out there's so much Trump in those Epstein documents, his sycophants don't want us to see them. Kash Yap Patel and Pam Bondi, boy, are they twisted. Let's take a look at the Dow. What's going on with the Dow? Is that it? Dow Jones? I want to come up here. All right, let's go back one. That's what I need to do. All right, here we are. Let's check out the Dow. It's up 400 today. Okay, it's bouncing back, but I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. Tell you what, I don't trust the stock market. So, but it seems like that shorting Tesla might still be a good play. How low will it go? Will it go to 150, 100, 30? I'd like to see it go down to 30. But yeah, as it goes down, so it's down 50%. So that's Elon Musk losing half of his money, but he had such a lead on everybody else. He's still the richest man in the world. That rat bastard. Oh, how about this? If you haven't heard, another just corrupt as shit, evil thing you could do is he's trying to undo all of Joe Biden's pardons, right? Because only he can pardon people like Jan 6, vicious, violent, evil cop killing criminals, shit smearing criminals. I mean, ugh. I wonder if any of those people that have gotten out are experiencing backlash. I know, I mean, it was certainly satisfying seeing that Tarico guy get arrested for assaulting a girl, and she was right there to antagonize him, which was great. I enjoyed the shit out of that. And is that happening with 1,500 other racist, bigoted Republican traitors? Violent insurrectionists tried to overthrow our government. So sad that now they have overthrown our government. Some of my dumbass fellow Americans voted for this shit. It's unbelievable. So yeah, he's just gonna go after everybody. Thing is, the Department of Justice has lost so many lawyers already. They're gonna continue to lose more. They're gonna fire more. It's gonna be hard for them to prosecute. They're gonna go around with guys with guns and vests and cuffs, and they're gonna build prisons and lock people up, but they're not gonna be able to process all this shit because they won't have any lawyers to do it. Sick though, huh? Oh, and then of course Donald Trump wins another golf tournament, even though he sucks at golf. Oh, he's so gross. He can't handle the thought, and nobody thinks he wins these. Nobody thinks, oh yeah, Trump really won that. But he just ingratiates himself with another championship at one of his golf courses with all kinds of lies around it. Not having played all, the right number of rounds, showing up late, just being thrown up on the leaderboard. It's crazy. Anyway, if you haven't heard about that. So I think the whole world is dying to see an interview someday done with that poor kid that was locked up by that MAGA mom in Connecticut. 20 years a slave, locked in a bathroom. A bathroom with only a toilet, right? If there had been a sink, he would have used that. He had drank out of the toilet. Obviously, he had a toilet. But he didn't shower for over a year before they found him. So just dirty. 2 sandwiches a day. It doesn't even sound like he's getting that. Oh man, gnarly story. But I think the whole world, man, when that guy gets interviewed, everyone's going to want to hear what he has to say. I'm sure he's fucked up mentally from all this to some extent. But man, would we like to hear from him? And we're all just, I think, how many people are going, oh God, I hope they're feeding. I hope when we finally see him, he's gained 10 or 20 pounds already. And you know, like, I mean, and let's hope his internal organs are still in shape. God damn. Anyway, poor guy. That's why you don't want a Republican mom. Holy shit. You see that MAGA lady with her red, white, and blue makeup? Holy shit. Let's see. Protests. So think about this. Like, there's so much evil going on in Washington. There are so many protests, and they are all about different things because there's 25 things to protest with anger, whether it's Khalil Mahmoud, I can't pronounce his name that well, I'm not even gonna try, but the nice gentleman from Colombia who just protested, and now he's in a Louisiana prison being treated with no rights, being called a terrorist. Meanwhile, all of Washington is full of domestic terrorists, and they're calling everyone else a terrorist. It's just unbelievable. And then there's the wanting to protest firing veterans, and then there's the wanting to protest taking food out of starving children's mouths in foreign countries. Then there's the protesting taking food out of freaking food banks and free lunch programs for kids. The poorest of the poor were being fed, and now they're not. They're going to start starving. Another thing to protest. All of our information being compromised by Elon Musk. Another thing to freaking, protest. Tesla. Another thing to protest. And it is so satisfying. I just hope everyone remains committed. Amazon's numbers are way down. Freaking Target down. Hopefully, more people. This now. I saw one that had 18,000 views. It's had 1 million views now. And man, what if it has 10 million views soon enough? 20, because it's the list, right? The list of all the companies. It's got to be 100 companies on there. But if we all boycott those companies, yeah, that'll make the stock market contract, but specifically to those companies. So if you're an investor, I think that's really one of the best strategies you could take right now is identify which ones are going to be targeted by people who are pissed off about Nazis taking over our government. Mad as hell, not going to take it anymore. And willing to act on that, with their dollar, because dollars are votes in world economics. And so, yeah, I think that's the future news. How about Trump in front of the White House? There's so many little disturbing things with those Elon Musk cars right there. Calling Elon Musk a great patriot, a South African, a great American patriot, like who's never been, he can't be, he doesn't act like one either. That was just extra disturbing, hearing Trump call Musk a patriot. Oh my God. There's a bunch of different people out there in the news now. I love these I've had it ladies. But the overwhelming suggestion is that little Dick Johnson, the Speaker of the House, he might, a man who hates the gays, might just be gay himself, which comes up a lot, like Trump's mentor, Roy Cohn, Lindsey Graham. There's all these guys who spend their lives in service to destroying the lives of gay people, but they are gay themselves. And there's a lot of conjecture out there about little Dick Johnson, and that's enjoyable. I really enjoy seeing that. You'll see that out there. What else is going on? What else? Oh, if you haven't heard it, there was a study done, and there's not going to be any more studies pretty soon because all these people have been fired. But one of the last studies ever done, I guess would be the right way to put that, is this, and it's again, it's what we already know. It's been well established, right? Bacteria, bad. Plaque, bad. We know we get plaque in our mouths. And so, mouth health and plaque in our veins, heart, brain, right? Brain health, heart health is related to how much you brush your teeth. So, brush your teeth. It's good for me to hear that because I've been skipping a day once in a while lately after the fire, and I need to do better. So, but just like we're going to get news again. I mean, there's things we already know that are going to keep coming out. Guess what? It's really healthy to sleep enough, eat right, and exercise. Oh my God. And that's going to stop every disease? Yep. Okay. All right. That's going to be in the news, future news again, as it has been before. The Wisconsin race. The judges are elected in Wisconsin, and Elon Musk moved in there with $15 million and dumped it in an evildoers, an evil Republican sycophants campaign. And there's this wonderfully very reasonable woman who needs to get elected there. So, because a bunch of cases are going to hinder on that, big ones that'll affect a lot of people, their rights to all this stuff. I forget what it is, whether it's gay marriage or all kind of stuff are going to come before that court for whatever reason. So keep an eye on that. That's coming up. It's very scary. But yeah, so think about the Republican Party. Trump dismantles everything, right? Just tears apart the government. And everyone gets to a point where they really don't like him and Musk. Would Republicans want to get rid of Musk and Trump, right? Because right now, Republicans, all the blame is on Trump and on Musk, even though it's all the blame should be on all Republicans. Like, what if people within the Republican Party want to get rid of him? Everyone else wants to get rid of him or wants to see him gone. But what if, like, some evildoers in the Republican Party on the inside, the corporations even, he's tanking the stock market, he's doing all this evil shit. The white supremacists love all of it, but how long is it before it's realized that they don't need him anymore, and that if they could just get rid of him, they could keep this awful train going, keep stealing everything, stay in control of everything, if they just push him aside and then, lie a bunch and try to remake their image based on some new lies that they tell about caring about not being corrupt. Fraud, waste, abuse. It frustrates me listening to all these people capitulate to that. All the new stupid people start out, well, of course, everyone wants to see fraud, waste, and abuse reduced. However, they're not going about it the right way. Don't even give it the credit that it doesn't deserve. Just say they're lying. They're not going after fraud, waste, and abuse. That's not anyone's concern. No one was talking about that. And so it's frustrating to see people in the media capitulating, always starting out the conversation, even the politicians, well, we all want to get rid of fraud, waste, and abuse, like giving it any credibility at all. It's all been a scam from the beginning, and it's creating fraud, waste. It's all fraud, waste, and abuse. The rehiring, the lawsuits, it's going to be so expensive, and it's not saving anyone. Plus, they're killing all the government programs they can that help people in all kinds of ways, whether it's the Department of Education or USAID. Anyway, yeah, it's frustrating. Here's a crazy thought, and this would be in the future news, because this is true. Countries with no ethics, like China, that will, and hopefully it won't come to that here. Oh my God, can you imagine if, because they're going to just build as many prisons as they can and send people to prisons everywhere they can. But what if they start doing the same thing that China does to raise revenues? You know, slice living people open and just start harvesting all their organs. How long will it be before Trump starts doing that to raise revenues? I wouldn't put it past him. That's how evil Orange Lucifer is. It's so sad. But they do that, right? Okay, so with that in mind, they have been working on head transplants, right? Transplanting the head of one chimpanzee to the body of another. And they've succeeded to the point where they've kept a chimpanzee alive for like an hour after doing that. Imagine if you're Xi Jinping and they figure out how to do all that and you're an old man and you can just order the body of an 18-year-old and have your head put on it, right? I wouldn't be surprised if I see that. If I live 40 more years, I'll probably see some weird shit like that, or billionaires that want to do that, right? Because, you know, that's what money will buy you know, an 18-year-old body. Anyway, it's very scary that people are trying to do that, but I could just see where it could be abused, you know, from the top down, from the leader of a communist country or a dictatorship, a tyrant anywhere. Could just get himself a new body and live for what? I mean, who knows? What if that happened anyway? I wonder how long the brain could sustain itself, because, you know, everything else up here is getting old. So it'd be getting old. It'd be really weird having this just super old head on a young body. But, yeah, people are working on that science in crazy countries. They're not doing that here, but I think maybe in Italy too, I think they were doing that, but definitely in China. If you haven't seen those stories, it's pretty weird, but I could just, anyway. All right, enough of that head transplant talk. And then all this talk. Markets will be in pain. Markets will be in pain. Like, but it's just temporary. We're going to have a better third and fourth quarter and yada, yada, yada. I don't buy any of that shit. They're trying to start false confidence in a stock market that is just going to shrink for a while, especially as all this shit plays out and the numbers play out, except for those prison complex stocks and the Plantier that's just on the inside stealing money, and yeah, I don't know who else. REITs. There's going to be some companies that don't suffer, but you're going to have to be a good stock picker. Oh, here's a little bit of trivia, if you didn't know it. And I say this because it'd be cool if this was like a thing, you know, like more widespread thing. Maybe a grocery store could start this thing. But anyway, in the marina, that lovely area that's built on landfill, that's the worst place to be in an earthquake in San Francisco, there is a Safeway. And on one night of the week, like Tuesday nights, it's like singles night at Safeway, right? Now, I don't know if that's still going on. It was a tradition in the, I don't know, 70s, 80s, 90s. But what if grocery stores did more of that? You know? The vegetable section would be a great place to meet a lady. All right. What else? Yeah, Jeff Bezos gets more disgusting every day, but I think people are stopping using Amazon. I saw these videos of these Amazon drivers saying they're doing 75 less stops every day all of a sudden. So that's cool. And finally, Trump just made, thank you, Keith Edwards, Trump just made bribery totally legal and is just taking bribes from Netflix. His wife took $40 million from Netflix. He's taking money from him to put his Apprentice show back on Netflix. Gross. Oh, God. And I'm watching Whales Breach right here. So, oh, my God. Are you flying your Constitution upside down, too? Oh, man. How's this? I'm also writing a letter, too. I want to have an honorary, they give honorary memberships away at the famous, secretive Bohemian Grove. and my great grandpa and his brother, Frederick Worthing Bradley, and um, Philip Reed Bradley Sr. were both members, and their sons, Philip Reed Bradley Jr. And they were all friends with presidents, you know, all these guys, and Jack and Jim Bradley were all members of the Bohemian Grove Club, and those are the 5 that I know about. There could be others. Maybe one of Philip Reed Bradley Jr.'s kids was a member also. But you know, it's always had its doors open to artists, and I could do comedy for hours in there and make them happy, make them laugh, and you know, pay for. I think it's 25 grand to be a member. But boy, that'd be an instant, like, you know, all I need is, you know, one of those rich fellas in there to want to hire me for some convention, you know, and do comedy there, and all of a sudden I'll have a comedy career in a day. Anyway, these are crazy things I'm doing, but I really need to start writing letters, you know, for long shots. It's a beautiful campsite, lots of red. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, Bob Weir, yeah, Grateful Dead have been in there, and yeah. My friend, I got a friend with a house right down the street. One of my best buddies. Took care of his mom when she was dying of cancer, and she left him the house on the Russian River, and he grew up in Sebastopol, right near there. I went to Santa Rosa Junior College right down the street. One of my friends at Santa Rosa Junior College worked out there 3 weeks every summer, because he was a local kid, you know, and his dad was connected, and you know, that's how they sourced labor for that place, you know. And so, yeah, I love it. There's a beach out there on the river that we used to go to. A place you can swim in one place against a stream, which I enjoy. Yeah, beautiful. And they make nice Chardonnays out there. Sanford Chardonnay and Champagne. They make that out there. Or sparkling wine, I guess, because it's from California. But, you know, you get the point. Yeah, it's a great area. And it's all on the way out to the coast, Northern California coast. Is just incredible. Nothing more disturbing than hearing morons with low IQs talking shit about California. It's just an amazing state from top to bottom. It has so much going for it. It's crazy. It's got parts that are better than others, though. You know, those people that live in the valley, they endure hardship because it's like where Kevin McCarthy's from, Bakersfield. It's like one of the shittiest towns in the whole country. But, you know, what are you going to do? It's just because everything is polluted, it's hot, it's, you know, there's crime, whatever, Stockton. It's all kind of brutal in the valley where we grow all America's food. All right, so hopefully I'm going to get a lot of stuff done today. You know what I'm saying? I doing this new show, I think is really healthy for me. It's kind of like an academic pursuit almost. I think it's sharpening my mind like a razor is what it's doing. Helping me push through the PTSD. You know, because when you start getting some stuff done, you start getting everything done. And just getting this done and getting this all out of my head, right? I'm trying to basically cover every story, which is fun because I watch all the news, all the people, all of it. Always have. But this is a great way for me to exercise all those demons. So I appreciate you watching. And maybe someday I'll be like, you know, there'll be like more than 100 people seeing my videos. You never know. It's possible. Maybe not. What's funny is all these guys putting a call out. We need more content creators in this space. Brian Tyler Cohen's got this whole program. Going to get 50 content creators trying to prop them up. Anyway, let's see if anybody notices me out there in the world of people who can prop other people up. Because I really don't have any skills. I'm doing this because I don't edit. Still, so if you do it live, you don't got to deal with editing or memory. And so That's why I enjoy going live. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna hopefully learn how to do more and be better and go on other platforms, you know. Um, I should go. I'm never on Twitter, but I do have a profile. I need to go there and delete my account. That's the cool thing to do. If you don't know what's cool these days, you go delete your account on Twitter. If you want to be cool, you know, which I can help you on that. Poor Elon Musk. Talk about uncool, skinny pants wearing. And then you got FancyPants JDVance with all his distorted pictures out there of him with his fat face, skinny face, handsome face, clown face. Oh my God. And then all the AI derivations they're making with all these cucumber. Do you remember this song? Grumpy cucumber. No, but I now want to know all about it. So I will make that one of my goals in life, and I will never forget it. Now that I've said that, I can't. I have a conscience. So I'm going to learn about cucumber. This sounds fun. Who wouldn't want to learn about that? My goodness. Sounds like a good name for a band. What band are you going to go see? Oh, cucumber band. Oh, that sounds good. Anyway. What's the Dow doing? Dow's up 452. NASDAQ's down. See, that's all those tech giants going down. Because also, people are like, it's the Tesla thing, like, kind of, I think it spills over inside of us, right? So we have all this angst at the top here, just pissed at Elon. Fuck you, Elon. Never gonna buy your cars. People are burning cars, committing crimes against cars. It's crazy. Protests just against cars. Okay, but right below that is like, who else? Who else do we need to take out while we're doing this, right? I think they're finding the other people to take out, like this list right here from Sunny D. Tell the people with Sunny and W1 companies that donated to Project 2025 has over 1 million views. I can't wait to see it have 50 million views. And I hope people are punitive, not for a month or a day, but for the rest of their lives. Let's put these we can have a new company to replace McDonald's. We can have a new substitute store for Walmart, right? There could be a different Target. They don't have to stay in business, right? And so on. We can find and create substitutes for these evil, shitty companies that supported the Nazification of our country. I can't even believe it. And it was known. The Project 2025, it was known. And Russ Vought, the guy who wrote it, he needs to be, put in his place. He wants all of us to be afraid. He wants us all to feel threatened. God, this is why I want to get into politics. My great-grandfather survived 26 attempts on his life. So, including a bomb at his front door that blew him into the street at age 7. I think he was 70 years old. Or no, he wasn't 70 yet. No, I think he died at age 7. Anyway, and he survived that. And to cover it up, because he didn't want his wife to know, he sued the city of San Francisco and won a judgment for a faulty gas pipe. But it wasn't a faulty gas pipe. It was Harry Orchard planting a bomb at his front door. And Harry Orchard eventually went to prison. He's a famous prisoner in Idaho State Penitentiary history. Harry Orchard, the most beloved prisoner there, after he killed a whole lot of people, including the governor of Idaho in 1905. Same guy that tried to kill my great-grandpa 26 times because he didn't have any unionized mining operations, right? And this guy had been hired by Big Bill Haywood at the Western Federation of Miners and a couple other guys. The cool part of the story is it was a Pinkerton's detective agency came to town in Boise and figured it out, did their detecting, and figured out that Harry was the guilty party. And so that's kind of interesting. I think it would make a good movie. all Harry Orchard's stuff, and a little bit of my great grandpa in there. Anyway, if I ever become a movie maker, the cool thing is, like, in cases like that, you could just do accurate history. You don't have to embellish anything. And there's plenty of stuff. There's plenty of meat on the bone, right? Like, Harry Orchard murdered like 17 people before he went to prison. So, right? Like, just tell the true story of this fella, and you get to throw a bunch of violence into your movie. Like, there's never been a movie about Hannah Duston. Super violent story. It's just American history. That would start a crazy it would make conversations, because you know, there's two sides to that story, right? There's the side of the Native Americans, and then there's the side of the townsfolk of Haverhill. Anyway, if I was a movie maker, or if I could have an influence on someone making movies, these would make some good movies, just because there's so much gnarly stuff in them, you know. And then it could just be the truth, and that would be cool, man. I love learning history from watching a kick-ass movie. What a fun way to learn history. That's why it just disappoints the hell out of me when, like, they take a person from history and then they move things around and embellish real history when they could just tell it straight and then make it a history lesson. Anyway. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Stay frosty. That's one guy likes to say that I like to watch. Another, you know, that gas station adventure. I love that expression. She gone. Anyway, if you've ever seen his videos, they're pretty good. If you didn't know it, if you haven't seen it, I drove 2 gas station adventures and went in there and made a video. Anyway, that guy should go travel the country as a comedian. He is funny. Anyway, shoots. All right, I'm starting to say and anyway too much. Remember, if you're gonna drink whiskey, let's support Canada. God bless Canada. You know, if there is a God. I don't think we'll believe in superstition like that alien said after we blow ourselves up with nuclear bombs. So let's hope we can not do that. She's grumpy. It's my fault. Kamawilla. I couldn't quite figure out what you were saying there. Anyway, life is good. Good